Right, so I'm going to start working on the long newel post that gets lapped onto the floor structure. So this is my railing height of 40 inches above the finished floor. And over here is a story pole for that long post. And that represents a 2.5 inch reveal. So I want a 2.5 inch reveal above the railing line. Over here, my railing from on the stair rake is going to connect to this post right around the height of this temporary railing. So visually, the railings will look all kind of in line. And that's not always necessary, but it's a bonus when it does work out that way. So what I'm doing is I'm using a 59.5 inch story pole, which is exactly the same length as my long post from the supplier. And you can see that right here. Then what I've done is I'm going to use a piece of 10.25 inch stained plywood and finished, to match the railing with a oak edging on the bottom. That will cover this floor structure, and I've transferred that 10.25 inch line from the top of the finished floor to the bottom of this joist. And so I'm going to run that plywood right over to here, and this is where I'll put my post. I'll lap my post right down to this line. So by using a square, I've transferred that line from on the drywall, where the bottom of the post will be, onto my story pole. And then another line represents the top of the structural floor, not the flooring, and where it intersects on the story pole. All right, so I've got my story pole for the long post that laps over the floor structure, and I've got it laid on a 59 inch newel post. Now what I've decided to do is I've got the laminations on the post facing the front as you come in the door, and that's because down here I have to cut a notch and put my screws through the face of the newel post, an 1.5 inch piece that'll be left to lap the floor joist, and I want my screws to go through the face grain and not through the side where the laminations are. So I've just got this marked according to my laser level. This will be the railing height right here, so I've got that marked. Down here I'm just going to mark the floor. This will be the structural floor, top of the plywood, and then down here will be the bottom of the post. So I'll cut that off flush, and then I will do a little round over on this edge so that there's not a sharp edge. So like anything, you mark really well, make your marks really thorough, and proceed with confidence. The store always sells more if you really mess it up, which I hope doesn't happen. One of the things I got to do is buy myself a couple of nice layout rulers. If you got any recommendations without breaking the bank, let me know in the comments. All right, so I took a look inside where the joist system, and if I make a screw hole 2.25 inches up from the bottom and 2 1/8 down from the top and 3/4 in from each side should be good. All right, eventually I'm going to use like a 4-inch GRK. Yeah, I'm going to countersink with a 3/4 Forstner bit in a couple of spots just so I can attach the post. And as I've said before in other videos, you want to make your bigger hole first, especially with a Forstner bit, because you got nothing to follow if you do it the other way. Now let's go see if this bad boy will fit. Sit it here. What is that? Oh, the level looks good here. How's it from the front?
Yeah, I mean it's touching the line.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'll just get it secured and then I can kind of
but I mean it's well within. Yeah.
All right, so I got this Newel Post screwed into place. I'm going to use a lot bigger screws when I do my final install. I had to take a big crown out of this floor joist with a chisel and a multi-tool, but it looks good. That post is perfectly plumb this way, and if I look this way, very acceptable as well. I could tweak it a little bit when I put my lag screws and glue in on the final install. And I've got it in line where the center of the stringer is, you can see here, and also over here on my line where the Newel post should go. All right, so I'll just show you down in the basement here. I'm going to put a piece of blocking up there, 2x4 blocking, just in that cavity there. 2 of the screws are going to go right into that rim joist, and 2 will go through this joist. So I'm going to put a piece of blocking there to pick up those legs. And this is the situation where we could actually put a couple of carriage bolts through there if you wanted. Got a rainy day, so I have to do my work inside. And I also forgot to put a little rebate on the bottom of this post for the flooring, and I will do that as well. Well, the router got away on me on this rebate here, and that is really bad. The clamp came loose, and so what I'm going to do, as reluctant as I am to show you this, but these things happen, I'm going to take this piece of oak here that I removed from one of the posts, and I'm going to try and match the grain there and patch that up. It'll be a small little spot right at the very bottom of the post, maybe, you know, 5/8 of an inch at the most at this corner here. Well, I think that's pretty acceptable. I think nobody but the viewers will know that this little flaw is there. With stain, it won't be noticeable. All right, so the next step will be to align and install multiple newel posts, making them parallel to each other and square where necessary. And we'll see you on the next video. Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with a friend who does this kind of work and help the channel grow. It's really tough to get some momentum at times with YouTube, so any help is much appreciated. Thank you very much.